On the first day of law school, I tell my contract students never to argue for invoking the power of law except in a case for which they are willing to kill. They are suitably astonished and often annoyed, but I point out that even a breach of contract requires a judicial remedy. And if the breacher will not pay damages, the sheriff will sequester his house and goods. And if he resists the forced sale of his property, the sheriff might have to shoot him. This is by no means an argument against having laws. It is an argument for a degree of humility as we choose which of the many things we may like to make illegal. Behind every exercise of law stands the sheriff, or these days the SWAT team, or if necessary even the National Guard. Is this an exaggeration? Ask the family of Eric Garner, who died as a result of a decision to crack down on the sale of untaxed cigarettes. That's the crime for which he was being arrested. Yes, the police were the proximate cause of his death, but the crackdown was a political decree. The statute or regulation we like best carries the same risk that some violator will die at the hands of a law enforcement officer who will go too far. And whether that officer acts out of overzealousness, recklessness, in my opinion, under training, or simply to make a fast choice to do the job right, the violence inherent in law will be on display for all to see. This seems to me the fundamental problem that none of us who do law for a living want to face, but all of us should. This is a quote from a Yale law professor that I've adapted and made some slight changes to, but you can understand the point here and the idea. Think about that. Basically, what this is saying is that any law that is on the books, any law that the government introduces, is in the end punishable by death, and that's demonstrated in this quote and in the circumstances mentioned here. So, something to consider when you consider the fact that the United States was based on a small but effective government with a limited police force and greater militias, or a call for militias and the right to bear arms to protect those militias. And obviously we've came a long way from that today. We're not really anywhere near there from where we started, and I'm just calling out for some awareness right now. And maybe you guys can think a little bit about how that affects you, and how you can speak out for change, and how you can stand up for change and speak for your rights and stand up for what's right. So I'll talk a little bit more in the future about law enforcement and the needs of our country and in the United States for the vast needs for improvements, because at this point basically we're the laughing stock of the world with our issues of police brutality and militarization of the police force and all of these issues that we're having, and under training. I'll talk a little bit about that, but for now let's look at it. Let's take a step back and look at it at the origins of the law and the origins of the government, and how much power the government has, and how much power individuals should have, individual human rights and God-given rights. Anytime you have a group of humans with any kind of power, there's always corruption, and the United States government is no different, unfortunately. And it's very it's almost irreversible right now, but I don't think it's irreversible. So I'm going to speak out for change, and I'm going to hope that you guys can do your part, and that we can all do our part to make the world a better place. So that's just a little speaking point there. Let me know how you feel about this. Listen to that quote. Take it in. Let me know how that makes you feel, what you think about it. Comment below. and let's get a discussion started here. Share this post with your friends. Let's initiate some change. Let's have some positive things going on through YouTube, through the internet, through our ability to influence others. Let's get this information out there, and let's get a discussion started. Not bashing police, not blue line this, bashing civilians and everybody that's not a police, and not creating divisions. Not Black Lives Matter, not Antifa, not this, that, or the other. No groups, humans, all the same blood running through us. No races, no separating all this different stuff. Let's talk about what we can do for everyone and how we can make improvements, and let's be real. Let me know what you think. Bone out.